Yeah, it's a strategy that has been tried in a few places. New Orleans is the biggest case example, but it's been tried in Tennessee. And what they do is they try to take the lowest performing schools and group them together, typically privatize them and turn them into a charter school. And the hope is that they say the bottom 5% goes to the top 25%. But it hasn't worked yet. So in Tennessee, where they tried it, the person who was leading it quit. In Detroit, they tried it and ultimately they stopped it and said it was ineffective. In New Orleans, I think it's 50-something% of those schools are rated D and F, so also it didn't work. So everyone's dealing with the same leading and lagging indicators, meaning that there's a lot of things that end up affecting about how school outcomes happen. So you have to both remodel what goes inside of a school, but also remodel the things that happen in the 4,500 hours outside of school. And the community school model has worked all across the country to both work within those 1,000 hours and the 4,500 hours outside of school. It's worked in rural places, urban places, suburban places, ex-urban places, and it's been working for the last 100 years. So it's a really best practice model that if your school board or your superintendent and your district decide to take it up, that there's a lot of others that you'd be joining a cadre of groups that have been able to achieve equity. There's a number of foundations that are run by right-wing billionaires, such as the Koch brothers, the Walton Foundation, DeVos Foundation, who have been funding an effort to both lift up portfolio models as a model for school reform, and also as a mechanism for privatizing our schools. So they tried vouchers and it typically didn't work, and so now they use charters as the mechanism for it. So they typically hire a group to come in and do a report that says that there's no equity and that creating a portfolio or charter model would work. But right now there's no evidence that it has worked, this portfolio model. So the best thing to do is to lift up the actual research on outcomes, on what these efforts have done in other places, and then lift up models that actually have worked sustainably over time, such as the community school model.